Hello from the Porcelain Palace. Welcome to my throne room. Alright, enough potty humor. Let's get into reviewing this toilet. Our old toilet had it and we really needed a new one. Luckily, we got this toilet sent to us from DeerValley to make a video about. This is a paid post. This thing's pretty nice. It's a single piece toilet. The nicest thing about this toilet here is that you can open this up here and then you can just push this button right here and the toilet seat comes right off. So then you can easily clean everything here. This thing's brand new. It's got still got the stickers on here. Put the caps back on there. Take a piece of toilet paper here and show you how you can just wipe up in here really good. Super easy to clean. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And then when you're done, you just put your toilet seat back on here. Just fits right back on. So you could easily just lift it up, clean it, and put it back. And then the other nice thing about it here is with it being a one piece, you don't get any stuff in the nooks and crannies here. And so this is really easy to wipe down. This should be a really easy toilet to maintain. We put a little bit of that blue toilet bowl cleaner in the tank. So that'll also help keep it clean. It's got two flush options here, a small flush option and a big flush option. All right, let's go ahead and look at it. You can see it's got the blue tablet in there to keep it clean. But yeah, you got the short flush and the long flush there. Just push that down like that. And then that mechanism flushes it. So here's the short flush. So that was pretty good. We'll let it fill back up and then I'll do the long flush. This long flush is pretty nice. Let me show you how much power it has. Look at that. Look at all that water shooting through there. That's pretty nice. But this toilet didn't magically appear here. I had to install it. I never installed a toilet before, but it wasn't too bad. Let me show you how I did it. All right, there it is. There's the DeerValley one-piece toilet. It says on here that it takes 2 people to lift it, and that's true. It's pretty heavy. I had to carry it up the stairs, so I definitely had to get some help for that. The first thing you want to do before you get your toilet is you want to take some measurements. Let me go ahead and show you what the measurements are here. The most important thing is you want to make sure it goes from the back of the wall to where the bolt holes are underneath the toilet. To check my distance, I got this level here, and I'm making sure it's level because this tank slopes down a little bit. So I want to see exactly what my distance is here. So as long as we got 1 1/4 inches back there, we should be okay. It looks like we cleared the 1 1/4, and we're almost at 1 foot and 3/4 there, so we should be okay. It'll be a little tight, but it'll fit. All right, so it looks like the small one here is on here, and that's too small. So they say there's a bigger one up here. Let's go ahead and see if that one will fit. Okay, from what I can tell here, that looks like that's the right size. So we want the big one, not the small one. We'll go ahead and make sure that screws in there first before we set the whole toilet down. But first thing we got to do is get that other toilet out of there. One trick that you can do here is these things are prone to break when you pull them open here to turn the water off. So I just like to turn the main water off to the house, and then I don't have to worry about that. An easy way to check and make sure this is the right size, besides holding up and eyeballing it, is this is the one we took off from the DeerValley, and we can go ahead and see if it fits on here. You can just screw this in here, and then you'll know if it's the right size. See, so now we know we're the right size there, so that way we don't have any guesses. We won't have any surprises. All right, after you got your measurements and everything lines up right, then you want to get the water out of your tank. But after you flush it, you're not going to get all the water out of there. You can either disconnect the plug down here and drain it into a bowl, or you can get some rags or towels to seep it up, or you can use a wet vac. I'm going to use a wet vac. All right, I got a 7/16 inch ratchet here, and I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this. then you're just going to want to take the cap off and do the same thing on the other side. All right, so you need to get the old toilet out of here. And it might be cocked in there good, so you just got to pull it up. But once you get it up, then you can just move it out of the way. Another important thing to remember is to don't set this down on the floor, because that wax ring on the bottom of the toilet will make a mess. Okay, you can inspect your old toilet fittings there, make sure there's not any damage, and then you can clean up your mess around here if you have some caulking and stuff on here. One thing I didn't do here is I didn't cover the sewer drain. You probably want to do that because some gases can come out of there and it can start to stink. Okay, you can inspect this. It looks like my bolts are still good, so I'm just going to go ahead and use these bolts. But if your bolts don't look that good, you can use the ones that came with it. It came with some nice bolts there. And you can adjust them like that by slipping them in that track. When you install the wax ring, this goes on the toilet, and then this part here goes down in here into the pipe. So the plastic part will be facing here, and then it'll go straight down there like that. All right, let's put this thing on the toilet. Okay, so we want to put this wax flange on the bottom of the toilet. They say to flip it over sideways. I got some cardboard down here to protect it from getting messed up on the tile. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the wrapping off of this flange here. We'll just get all this wax off of here. All right, so this ring part here, we'll just go around this and it'll stick to it. Put this on here and get it to stick on there real good. Keep this piece on here so that you have something to push against, because this stuff's real sticky. And then when you're ready to install it, you can take that off. I think that's pretty good. All right, and then this will squish against the toilet, and it'll squish against the drain to get a good seal. All right, if you got the room and you got two people, you can just go ahead and lift this in here, but this is a tight space. So I'm just gonna have to kind of slide it in there and tip it over, because we're both not really gonna fit in there very well. All right, so let's go ahead and we just want to get those two holes there to line up with the two holes in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and you just want to be careful not to get that flange on the ground, because that will it'll stick to the floor. I just want to get close to that little circle that I have left from where the old toilet was. And then it's just a matter of lining it up. All right, we got enough space on the back here. We got a little bit of a ring on the front here, but like I said, I'll have to get out some pumice stone and clean that up. That's from the old caulking. And then we got the bolts lined up in there on this side. And we got the bolt lined up here. It's just a matter of tightening it all up now. All right, so I couldn't really get into this from this side, so I reached around under here to get under here to tighten this. But this thing's moving here, so if you can get a helper to hold this for you, then you can tighten this up. But this will move around a little bit while you're tightening it. All right, that should be good. And this thing will move around a little bit right here while you're tightening it. So if you can get somebody to hold on to this, it'll be a little bit easier. But that's the part that goes straight down to the water fill. So on this part right here, it's a little bit tricky. It says you put on your, you got your bolt, and then you got your washer, and then you got your nut, and then you got your cap. A little bit tricky because if you use this washer, it's not going to fit on there. You have to use this one. So I got that washer down first, and then I can set this one on top of it, I can set that one on top of there, and then I can screw this in. So I got that on top of there like that. I got an adjustable wrench here that I can just tighten like this, and then that allows me to tighten it. I'm going to go ahead and put the other one on before I tighten it up too much. Alright, so we'll go ahead and go in here now. The nice thing about this handle here is you can just turn it to tighten it. You could also turn it this way if you want to. Alright, you got these nice caps here. To get the caps off of there, you just push this little thing through here. And then you got your cap off. And then you can put this in here like this. And then you just put this through here like that. And you screw this side on here. And then we can slide this into the toilet. We'll just take this down here and we'll put it inside the toilet like that. And then we can tighten it up. And then you can just tighten it up with a screwdriver. With a flathead screwdriver there. Alright, you can just kind of see where it's at. If you're having trouble seeing it, you can use your phone, the camera on your phone, to look down there. Just depends how your toilet is. Mine's right against the wall here, so. But that feels pretty snug there. Same thing over here. Got it nice and snug. And then we can put the cap back on there. Looks pretty nice. Alright, just need to turn the water back on. There we go. Alright, it looks like the tank filled up. Okay, we'll go ahead and flush it. Got a nice good flush there. Looks pretty nice.